It is Wednesday, July 13, 2016. Welcome to this edition of the Government News Brief. In the news, historic three-day Hague Convention opens in Georgetown. Almost 1,000 residents of Linden-Soesdijk Highway to get potable water for the first time, and government working to simplify passport application process. Stay tuned for the details of these and other stories. Thank you for staying with us. I am Azim Khan. Here are the details. Scores of legal experts are participating in the Hague Convention Conference, which opened this evening. More in this report.
Guyana, in collaboration with UNICEF, is hosting the conference from July 13 to 15 at the Pegasus under the theme International Family Law, Legal Cooperation and Commerce, Promoting Human Rights and Cross-Border Trade in the Caribbean through the Hague Conference Conventions. Attorney General Basil Williams explains.
We are holding this Hague Conference now because one of the first exercises I did as minister was to participate in the Hague Conference in Trinidad. And the program that I was exposed to there made me realize how important it was for us here in South America, in Guyana, to also be a part and take membership of the Hague Convention Conference in the first place, and also be a party to the many treaties that they have which affect children, like abduction, adoption, custody, maintenance, and the like.
The two-day working sessions will see chaired sessions on Child Abduction Convention, Child Protection Convention, Adoption Convention, Child Maintenance Convention, International Family Mediation, Service Convention, Choice of Court Convention, and the Hague Choice of Law Principles. UNICEF Country Representative Marian Flack says the conference is important.
Guyana and Suriname are countries that attract many workers because of the extractive business industry. That is a very particular feature here, I think, and so it is extremely important that we have the legal laws in place that protect these children.
When Guyana becomes a member of the Hague Conference on Private International Law, it will be the first Caribbean state to do so. This means that Guyana will have an opportunity to participate in the negotiation of new treaties and have priority access to technical assistance. Secretary General, Hague Conference on Private International Law, Dr. Christophe Bernasconi explains.
Being a member comes with this important advantage that you can rely on a priority basis on our technical assistance. Guyana would be amongst the very first states in the region to become a member.
This conference has attracted the attendance of CCJ President Sir Charles Dennis Byron, Hague Secretary General Dr. Christophe Bernasconi, the Right Honourable Sir Matthew Thurp, former Lord Justice of Appeal and Head of International Family Justice, among others. For this Government News Brief, Renetta LaFleur.
Almost 1,000 residents of the Linden-Soesdijk Highway will soon have access to potable water for the first time. Isaiah Braffett has the details.
Executive Director for Infrastructure Planning and Implementation at the Guyana Incorporated GWI, Ramchar Jailal, in an interview with Gina, said that 45.4 million was allocated for the installation of a transmission and distribution network at Waikabra.
One is to drill a new well in Waikabra, just off the Linden-Soesdijk Highway, the village next to village of Hillfoot. That community has been suffering from water supply and never had water supply in that community. So this project provides for drilling of a new potable water well, an installation of the mains and service connection to provide service for the entire community.
Yarokabra and Kurukuru are also communities which will benefit as transmission and distribution networks will be installed at a cost of 47.9 million.
We also have two contracts that have been awarded. One is to install new mains in Yarokabra, and another one is to install mains in Kurukuru. These projects are targeting providing service to the communities, extension of the communities that are not receiving any supply.
The project aims to enhance the quality of life for the residents of the Linden-Soesdijk Highway. Jalal says that GWI is working along with residents to ensure that all their needs are met. Works are slated to commence in August with an estimated duration of 2 months for the completion of both projects, thereby ensuring that the residents receive potable waters 24 hours. Isaiah Braffett, Government News Brief.
It is important for Guyanese, particularly the media, to support the country as it defends its territory being claimed by Venezuela. More in this report.
Diplomatic support coupled with support from the local citizenry is very important as Guyana defends its sovereignty against Venezuela's claim to Guyana's territory, says Belizean Foreign Affairs Minister Wilfred Elrington.
Every Guyanese boy and girl, every Guyanese man and woman, every Belize boy and girl should know the dispute intimately and should understand their responsibility to champion the cause of the nation. That's the only way we'll survive.
Like Guyana, Belize's territory is being claimed by its neighbor Guatemala. Elrington says the media's role in educating the citizens on the border issue is critical towards ensuring that every citizen understands the importance.
So the media has a tremendous responsibility, just like our schools and other educational institutions. But the media has a tremendous responsibility, both here in Guyana and in Belize, to make this information, the whole dispute, a commonplace, most well-known issue in the country.
Guyana is seeking a judicial settlement of its borders dispute with Venezuela through the Office of the Secretary General of the United Nations. Last year, Venezuela issued Decree 1.787, which was replaced by Decree 1.859, which extended its maritime zone into the maritime space in the exclusive economic zone of Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, and other countries in the Eastern Caribbean. At the recently concluded CARICOM Heads of Government meeting, CARICOM pledged its continued support for Guyana and Belize in the resolution of their border disputes. For this Government News Brief, Shivani Rampasad reporting.
The government is working to reduce the daily long lines at the Central Immigration and Passport Office. Details in this report.
The daily lines at the Central Immigration and Passport Office is a worrisome issue for Guyanese. Since its assumption to office, the government has consistently been seeking to find ways to remove the burdens on citizens who assemble early in the morning to apply for their passport. Minister of Citizenship Winston Felix explains.
In the first place, we have to get suitable accommodation. I have identified a place, but you need to put in chairs, you need sanitary facilities to go in. And so once we get those things in, you need desks and chairs for people to sit and work on, right? So once you get those things in, then you can talk about the start-up date.
The minister pointed out that the goal is to decentralize passport application across Guyana.
Other areas such as Linden, Essequibo, possibly Bartico, would also receive similar attention because it is the president's wish that government services should be provided in each region. And so the decentralization of the applications for passports would take that view into consideration.
Efforts are also on the way to analyze other simpler methods of applying for passports.
We need to address whether we can reduce the crowds by accepting online applications for passports. That also requires equipment, it requires location, etc., so that anybody requiring a passport can stay from their homes on their laptops or desktop and apply for a passport.
With around 400 people turning up each day, the passport office has been stretched to the limit. Therefore, the government is earnestly working to address this issue to alleviate the inconvenience to citizens as quickly as possible, the minister said. Renetta LaFleur for this Government News Brief.
The Guyana Livestock Development Authority is working to increase cattle production throughout the regions. Kadaki Amsterdam tells us more.
The GLDA hopes to do so through the expansion of its artificial insemination program. Deputy Chief Executive Officer, DCO, of GLDA, Dr. Dwight Walron explains.
Once we have the synchronization program up and running across the country, it would be easy for us because we know our agriculture is based on the coast. This way we can program our calving season to ensure we get our calves during the dry season. So that would reduce our calf mortality. Our last figure when we checked, our calf mortality was approaching 40%, which is, unacceptable. So we at GLDA, there's a number of things which we're doing to remedy these situations.
The DCO says, due to the authority's increased capacity, it is in a better position to provide genetics and artificial insemination services to farmers around the country.
We had a staff who was exposed recently to some additional training in artificial insemination for small ruminants in Jamaica. I'm more than happy to report, though, that the 3 staff that was working with me, we have gone and made such great progress. That simply means that we are now having more technical staff in the various regions to execute these programs. What we're trying to do is to improve genetic material accessible to farmers at a pretty low cost.
Previously, farmers were skeptical about the artificial insemination services provided by the Livestock Authority. However, Dr. Walron says this has now changed.
I try to spend at least 2 days in the field working with the staff, working with the farmers to, so that the farmers can regain that confidence. And we're seeing it with these farms where we have this high success rate. And we have some other large farmers, beef cattle farms, which are now interested in coming on board.
The GLDA is also engaged in a cattle buyback program to prevent productive heifers being slaughtered. The authority is the agency tasked with supporting the growth and development of the country's livestock industry. Kidaki Amsterdam for Government News Brief.
That concludes today's edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on GINA's website. We encourage you to stay updated and subscribe to our website and YouTube channel. All government and other information can be had from GINA. Join us again tomorrow when we bring you another edition of this, the Government News Brief. Thank you for watching.